I hope everybody is having a good Thanksgiving week so far. I know it's just Tuesday, but we've been having a festive week on behalf of the Hash It Out show, especially yesterday. We thank y'all so much for joining us for our season premiere of high school basketball. We had the Homeville Invitational. We had three interesting games yesterday. We thank you so much. We'll be back Wednesday afternoon at 2 p.m. for a doubleheader. So join us on the JB the Sports Guys YouTube page and the Hash It Out show. We got two good ones coming up tonight and tomorrow. But we got a big game coming up Friday, the LHSAA state quarterfinals. We are in Division 3 select, and we got a great one for you. It's going to be Calvary Baptist, the Cavaliers. They will be taking on the Jewel Sumner Cowboys. We're here with the head coach of the Calvary Baptist Cavaliers, a very legendary coach, Rodney Guin. How you doing, Coach?
I'm doing great. Hope y'all are too.
Great, great, great. We appreciate you taking the time out to join us and everything. Let's talk about your team this season. Your team, veteran team, pretty much, but at the same time, still not a young players. But you guys really had an outstanding year. Had a tough schedule in itself, and you didn't cut any your program. They don't cut corners at all, but you guys had the schedule to prepare you for where you are. And 10-1 is very good to your team, especially in this kind of level.
Yeah, we try to play tough teams to get us ready for the playoffs, and these kids have came along very, very well. Actually, we lost about 17 starters off last year's team, and so we're kind of starting over. And but they really, really progressed well through the season.
Very much so, and looking at the schedule, you a lot of the teams that you played basically made the playoffs, and some they're still playing. You only have one loss on the season. That is to Neville, who is still in the playoffs, and they're very tough in itself. But at the same time, what did you see in your young team early that you seen that okay, there's some things we got to fix, and what you see in them now that they're really have starting to grown up?
Well, early in the year, we played Neville week two, and then Franklin Parish, who are two very, very good teams, and Oak Grove week one, who's still playing. They battled well. You always worry about their toughness, and we got that problem solved. I don't think physicality is going to be a problem for us. I think we've done that all year long, and like I said, it's a bunch of young guys, brand new quarterback playing, and they've gotten better every single week.
Very much agreed. Very much agreed. Last week, outstanding performance against Metairie Park Country Day. Even though they put up 30 points, but you guys scored 66. But at the same time, you stepped up against a very improved Country Day team, and you guys you just knew yourself. And hearing some of the interviews that you had, Coach Guillen, that you felt like, hey, we're not going to take this team lightly. We have to be ready and be on our P's and Q's.
Yeah, they were impressive offensively. They can throw the ball around with those big receivers, and but we played well on defense. Two of those scores were kickoff returns we gave up. So after the first quarter, we really didn't give up any scores with the ones, and so which was good because we hadn't faced a lot of threw the ball around like that. So, but we rebounded well after the first quarter.
Let's talk about your players. Give me about two or three key players offensively and defensively that is really leading the way for this Cavaliers team.
Well, offensively, Braylon Huglon, our wide receiver, he's our kind of our guy, our go-to guy, and he's 60 plus catches. I think he's got about 1,200 yards, and he's made touchdowns, interceptions. He's got interception, kickoff return. He's got 17 or 18 pass catching touchdowns. So he's been our main weapon on offense. Him and our runner Ryan Miles. He's up close to 1,000 yards, and so they've done very, very well. On the offensive side, defensively, Luke Miller's our leader back there at safety. He's one of the few seniors we have playing, and he's kind of been our Jacob Tibbett, our only two-way player, and he plays linebacker, and he's had a great year for us. Also,
Very much agreed. I mean, very good team and not too many seniors. That's something that your team is really thriving on. But this is not your first rodeo. In a situation like this with a young team, you continue to build and build each year. And sometimes there's a thing that says you don't rebuild, but you reload more than anything else. But at the same time, it's the consistency of the program, right, Coach?
Yeah, and the expectations are high here. The kids know that when they come here. And, I told them after the game Friday that, people expect us to win, and we're not going to win all the time. There's a lot of good football teams, but our expectation is going to be to win. And, so it's a lot of, I put a lot of pressure on them because winning's expected. And, if we work hard enough, we think we'll have a chance, every week out.
Very much agreed. And y'all have what, 5 state titles? How many state titles the school has?
Four, four.
Four state titles. Okay, and a lot of quarterfinal and semifinal appearances. I even remember the beginning of this Calvary Baptist program under Doug Peterson that they got to the state semifinals and they were so close to punching that ticket. And I think it was like I think the school was in year 1 or 2 in existence.
Yeah.
So it was amazing stuff. We just knew that program was going to really come up more than anything else. Let's talk a little bit about Jewel Sumner, your opponent. What did you see more than anything else on the film, but not just that? How's the preparation been this week and the mentality going into this one, knowing you're going on the road from North Louisiana down to South Louisiana to take on Jewel Sumner?
Well, they're very impressive. I tell you, defensively, they don't give up any points. It's 10 points or less a game, which in today's high school football is almost unheard of. I mean, it's, and nobody holds people under 10 points. And they've done that all year long. So, very impressed defensively, how physical they are, how well they run. They run well team wise on offense and defense. And, very well coached. Those wing T teams, we've played a lot of them in the past. You want them to turn the ball over. That's your chance to get the ball from them, and they don't turn the ball over. They protect the football well, which is a sign of just being well coached and doing things right at practice. So it's going to be a big challenge for us. I think size wise, they're probably a little bigger than us up front, and which is always a concern for any team. But I'm very impressed with them. We knew from day one they were going to be one of the teams. You could see it coming, all year long, and but we're excited to go there. Coach said, I think the whole town's going to be there, so it's going to be it's going to be a fun night for us too. And I told our kids yesterday in the weight room, I said, this is the week where good teams are going to lose. I mean, we're going to play Jewel Sumner. A good team will lose. And, Carr and Evangel, a good team's going to lose. I mean, this is good football. And, so we have to play very, very well to win. And hopefully we play well and we can win. But even at that point, it's not a guarantee.
Absolutely. What does this mean to you and the kids? And I know Calvary Baptist is used to this, to making it to the state quarterfinals, and then on top of that, practicing on Turkey Week where you don't have to worry about going to class or anything else. And a lot of times you have practice maybe in the morning, early in the morning, and knock things out and get the preparation down. And the students and some of the coaches might have the rest of the day and maybe just relax a little bit, but still prepare for the game.
Yeah, it's nice being out of school for sure. Just having football to do, and we're excited. And if you can play this late in the year, you've had a good season. And we've been fortunate. The last 9 years I've been here, we played on Thanksgiving every single year. So again, it's that expectation. Heck, we tell our parents in August when we have our parent meeting, we're going to plan on practicing on Thanksgiving, so don't schedule an out of town trip. And so we're happy to be here, and like I said, just super super excited to get to go to Jewel Sumner.
What would it mean to you? Last question is what? Not my last question for you. What would it mean to this Calvary Baptist program to go down to Joe Sumner and get a huge win on the road? You've been down this road. Calvary Baptist been down this road before and has won some huge games, especially on the road, and that's what led Calvary to get those four state championships? What would it mean to your team to get it done Friday night?
Well, it'd be great. I mean, it'd be very, very huge for us. You know, they're an undefeated football team. I think they're ranked number one in 3A in the sports writers deal. So, you know, you don't get to play in many games like this. And so it's like I said, these games are a lot of fun for us to get ready for. Everybody's excited. And, you know, heck, it ain't going to get no easier for us or them next week. Probably going to have to go play Notre Dame or somebody like that. So, but this is a fun time of year. Every game's big and every game's tough, and you know it really gets fun for our kids.
Head coach Rodney Guin of the Calvary Baptist Cavaliers. We definitely appreciate you joining us. Continue to check out the Hash It Out show tonight at 7 and Wednesday. We got some special guests coming up this week. Tonight, we have a legendary coach in itself, and I know Coach Guin's very familiar with him. Denny Duron is going to be joining us tonight to talk about the Evangel Call matchup. Jimmy Watson will join us Wednesday night to preview a lot of the playoff matchups on Wednesday. But at the same time, join us on JB the Sports Guy and all social media platforms on the Hash It Out Show. Wednesday, we have the Harmville Invitational for the doubleheader prep basketball. And then Friday night, 6:45 is the coverage where we start on the JB the Sports Guys YouTube page for Jules Sumner and Calvary Baptist out there in Kentwood. We will be out there live 6:45 for pregame, 7 o'clock for the kickoff. Coach Guin, we wish your team the best of luck coming up on Friday and also this season. And you're doing great work. Thank you so much for joining us.
Hey, thanks for